Welcome back to Big Purple Couch, and joining us here on the couch is USC presidential candidate Adam Fearnall. Welcome, Adam, to the show.
Hi.
Yeah, you got some love out here today.
Yeah. So how do you think the debate went last night?
I had a great time. I think all four candidates really had an opportunity to show off, why they were running, and it was a really great experience. Lots of people out, which was exciting to see.
And a lot of things that you drew on last night was your experience being a Huron President Council as well. And you had your campaign video for that position, and then it was taken down. Was there a reason your presidential video for Huron was taken down when this campaign started?
Actually, it's interesting. The Huron presidential elections don't really have a significant budget. So actually, it wasn't a campaign video. It was a recruitment video that I did for the Huron administration. And they just pulled it down because it was an old video and it was something that they were taking out of rotation. So they have a new person working on that stuff for them now. So it was a coincidental timing. So
the remix is coming out soon.
Exactly.
The Huron video.
Huron video 2.0.
Yeah, exactly. And one of the things that we noticed that you said in the video, if you don't mind, I'm just going to read a quick quote from the video. You said, "It's amazing being close to main campus. It's great to have that little underdog identity with this big giant sea of main campus students. And you get a chance to come back here at the end of the day and hold on to that identity as a Huron student, and you wouldn't have that if you were on main campus." Having that Huron identity and that, obviously you have it close to your heart, do you think it'll be difficult to represent the entire great big sea that you talk about of Western?
The short answer is no. I think everybody can identify with having some sort of faculty pride. I think whether you're in social science, health sci, music, education, law, whatever it is, you have an opportunity to express your own pride and you sort of feel that. You identify there, and it's part of a greater identity, though. And I think that's what Huron does have the opportunity to give you, is that home base that you feel like is kind of your family. And then when you come back here, you get to meet this whole great other expanse of people and really access all the amazing things that are here at Western. It's been a great experience for me at Huron, and I think this year more than any, I've learned a lot about what it means to be a Western student. So.
Great. Drawing on your experience at Huron, there were things on your platform that you were unable to implement. So we were wondering such things as the tutor database, the speaker series, afternoon tea, music, room updates. What do you think is the least feasible on your USC presidential platform?
It's a good question. I think I won't go into the ones that I wasn't able to accomplish at Huron. Actually, some of those we actually did accomplish: afternoon tea, the music room refurbishments, and the speaker series. We managed to get some of those things off the ground. Tutor database, we ran into some problems, and that's just the way it goes. I think sometimes you do your best to accomplish all the things that you set out to do, but obviously, as an executive, I mentioned this last night in the debate. You sit down with your team and you come up with a vision, and you work towards that vision. So I think with my platform this year, we've really tried to be feasible with some of the things that we have. You'll see in my platform a lot of advocacy points. We really wanted to put a focus on academics because we think that's the thing that really unites all students. Everybody has to sit in the classroom. Everybody's working towards that degree. So we took a real strong approach on those things. And obviously, as was brought up last night, we know that there are going to be some challenges behind those things. An interest credit is something that is a big idea. It's being implemented at some of the greatest schools around. Harvard, McGill, those kind of places have interest credits, and we think that it's something that students really have indicated that they have a desire to see, and it's something we're going to work hard to advocate on. But I know obviously this is not a one-year plan, but it's something that I think if we're not talking about it, nobody's talking about it. So.
And speaking of the interest credit, that came up as when the other candidates had to critique your platform. Why do you think that was the one thing they attacked the most?
I think because it's scary. It's scary to think about being a student in a room of administrators and standing up and saying, this is what students want, and perhaps expecting them to say, we can't do it. But I think, like I said before, we have to bring these issues up. We can't be afraid of these issues. And we have to be willing to stand up for students and to say exactly what they want. I think students right now sometimes wonder if the USC understands what they're going through on a daily basis, because we're introducing little things that, maybe make their lives a tiny bit more convenient or maybe make them excited for a day or two. But we're not really tackling the big issues that are a problem on our campus. So.
Awesome. In your platform, you talk about CHRW and some media initiatives with them, as well as creating a Mustang's news hub with international and national news, which is great. We were wondering why you didn't include any other student media like BPC or the Gazette in your platform.
The intention behind not including the other media was to I think everybody knows that the Gazette and the media want their autonomy. They want to make sure that we respect their editorial autonomy, respect their boundaries, and they have the expertise about how to more concretely improve the services that they provide and improve the coverage that they provide. So we want to really rely on those people to come forward and tell us what those needs are. I think we identified CHRW. I'll just be honest, I grew up on CBC radio. My parents were always forcing it on my sister and I, and I hated it at first, but I've come to love it, and maybe it's a bit of Stockholm syndrome, but I do in fact love radio, and so it was something that I really wanted to focus on, and something that I think could really bring some life back to our campus. Talked to Grant about the idea, and he was really behind it, so a bit of a news junkie, I will admit.
Okay. And you're talking about academics are obviously really important to Western students, and you have the research grant. And where do you think the money would be coming from to help people with those research grants?
There's a bunch of different areas that we could draw the money from. I know that there is some desire within the USC to see a fund like this established, so hopefully it'll be something that they'll consider including in the next budget. But what we're looking at is a model similar to what social science has, where they offer their students an opportunity to apply for these grants. Also, the president has a personal initiative fund that he can draw upon, and as well, with the support of his VPs, there are PVP lines that give people the opportunity to accomplish their goals and their ideas. So those would be some areas that if we have to fall back, those are where we would be looking to take the funds from.
In your platform, you also talk about bringing charities and nonprofit organizations to campus, which is amazing. We were wondering what precautions you felt the USC should take in protecting students in terms of finances and getting taken advantage of.
I think the main thing about what we're saying about charities and nonprofits is actually not necessarily to bring them to campus, but to help students go off campus to engage with them. So what we're looking at is creating a partnership with Pillar Nonprofit Network. They work with the majority of the nonprofit organizations in the city. And what they've been willing to do for us is to work with these nonprofits and identify needs for skilled students to go out and have defined volunteer opportunities. Because one thing that I heard talking to students was that we have a real desire and a real passion for volunteering on this campus, but the organizations are not always set up to accept students. You go to a booth and they say, come on out and volunteer at our next dinner or something like that, and you end up serving, and then the relationship doesn't develop from there. So what we want to do is give people an opportunity to use the skills that they already have as undergrad students, the skills that make them really valuable in the workforce even before their degrees are over. So we want to be able to give students that chance to go out, have a real opportunity in the London community.
And one other aspect of your platform that really stood out for me was the Mustang Records. That's a very unique idea. Tell us a bit about it.
Well, I've got to be honest with you. Music kind of stole the punchline from us on this one. They're about a week ahead of us. It was a really great program, got launched out of the pop music program down in the music faculty. They launched the very first campus record label in Canada. We were kind of disappointed with that, only because we thought, wow, if we had been a week earlier, we would have been able to launch the first record label in Canada. But what we're wanting to do now is really create a partnership, reach out to music, help them to come up the hill and be involved in what's happening on at the UCC. We're going to give that student an opportunity to come in and record the song that they've written in their bedroom, and they just want to put down and keep forever, or maybe give out on voting day, like Valentine's Day or something like that. And also for me, music is a pretty important part of my life. I, for better or for worse, was in a band all the way through high school, and I'm actually working on an album right now. So I would sing for you, but you don't want to hear it right now. So.
Man of many talents here. Yeah. And you've been compared a lot to John, especially with your matching videos, and then even at the debate last night. How do you differentiate yourself between John?
I think the real difference between John and I is I think my vision is for Western. My vision is to make sure that the USC is used as a vehicle to make Western better. And I think the one thing that I've realized is no matter how much I'd like it as the president of the USC, not every student unites under the banner of the USC. People are involved in all sorts of different areas across this campus and in the community. And what they do unite under is the fact that they are a Western student. And so what we want to do is we want to make the changes to the USC that will allow us to impact Western. I think that John perhaps is focusing a little bit more insular on the USC and changing the USC and not thinking quite as far beyond that to the Western community.
Awesome. So Adam, what is your favorite thing about Western?
It's funny. my favorite thing about Western changed, and it changed at the beginning of the year this year. A lot of people don't know this, but I was a SOF for the first time this year. I was an assistant head SOF for Huron, and I was standing on the hill during the One Love rally, and I went like, this is it. That was the moment I thought in my mind that, you know what, I could actually care enough about this place to run for USC president. It just locked in for me. This is Western. It's a place that's open, it's accepting, it cares about people. And I remember being in first year and being a student that didn't really feel like there was an O week for me. I wasn't necessarily ready to buy into the culture that was here. And I needed something like One Love Rally to just kind of yell at me like, it's okay, we know that you're here, be however you want to be, and just exist at Western. And I think that's what One Love Rally did for me. So maybe that's a little bit around the answer, but for me, my favorite thing about Western is that feeling, that energy that you get when you have all these people in the same place, just letting each other be.
For sure. Well, thank you so much, Adam, for coming here on the show. And we have every single one of the USC presidential candidates here on the show for our 2-on-1 interviews. And be sure to check out Adam's platform, read up on it, and get informed on the elections. All right, thank you so much for coming here.
Thank you.